Now we're going to talk about two light heavyweights, Quinton Rampage Jackson versus Matt the Hammer Hamill. Quinton Rampage Jackson, very well known outside of the industry because of the A-Team, and Matt Hamill, who is kind of a journeyman. I believe he's coming off of a five-fight win streak. What do you think about this fight?
Man, a great fight. There's always so many questions surrounding Rampage. Where's he training? What's he involved in? Is he taking it seriously? You know, all those sorts of things that kind of leave that little inkling out there. Well, is he going to be prepared? What kind of shape is he going to be in? And Hamill is certainly not the guy you want to go in not fully prepared, because he's got a ton of heart, great wrestling background. He showed some tremendous striking in his last couple outings, just beating Tito Ortiz, and I think he just picked Tito apart. You know, so it's an interesting matchup. You know, Rampage hits like a Mack truck. I mean, we saw that in the Lyoto fight. I mean, if you stand around in front of this guy, he will flat knock your head off. And he's not relying on the wrestling abilities that he's had. I mean, we kind of know him from Pride for slamming dudes and doing all that kind of wrestling and taking guys down, but we're not really seeing that much in his style in the fights that he's had in the UFC lately. So I think he's predominantly a striker coming into this. It'll be interesting to see if Hamill can get him on the ground and take some steam out of him, take a little starch out of those punches and those legs. And I think it could be a good night for Hamill. It's a tough one to pick. I think Rampage Jackson has the ability to finish any fight with one punch. We saw him hurt Rashad. I mean, he has that capability each and every time he steps out there. So you have to be very attentive standing around in front of that guy. But I think, again, I'm going to go with the groundwork of a potential upset in the underdog, Matt Hamill. You know, I think his specific challenges with his hearing and all that stuff, that he's been that way his whole life. I don't think that makes any difference. It is odd. How do you know how much time's left in the round? You know, the referee has to actually touch you to stop you in that fight. But those are easy things to fix and easy things for him to make adjustments. He's been dealing with that forever. It's never been an issue in any one of the fights that I've seen. So, you know, a lot of people thought he got robbed against Bisping, and I happen to be one of those. I was at that fight. I think Hamill is going to pull it off in this fight.
So let me ask you about the styles as far as stand-up. I know Hamill is predominantly a wrestler, and that's how he's won most of his fights. But aside from that, I mean, when you come in, you have a guy like Rampage Jackson who has good stand-up, and like you said, he hits like a Mack truck. Yep. If Hamill does stand with him, and Hamill tends to be a little bit awkward on the feet, and a little bit, maybe even not a little bit, but very unorthodox in the way he punches. You think if he tries to stand with him and Rampage throws that jab and hits him with his hands, you think he has the potential to completely knock him out?
I think Rampage has that potential with anybody. He hits that hard. But Rampage is more of that, he's that inside fighter. Right. He plods in and gets inside, throws those hooks, throws those uppercuts, throws those types of punches. Where Hamill's more of the rangy, kind of like we saw with Tito. He used that jab a lot. He sticks and moves. He keeps these angles and footwork. He's not the guy that's going to stand in there and go nose to nose with you. So two different styles of striking. And I think that Hamill's style of striking draws Rampage in, frustrates him, and then makes it easier for Hamill to potentially take him down, trap him on the fence, put him on the ground, take some starch and steam out of him, and make him work harder than he wants to work.
Okay, so the bottom line, your prediction is Hamill?
I think that Hamill's going to pull off an upset and beat the guy that most people think will knock him out.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Rampage. I think Rampage can potentially knock him out, but I think also it may be one of those things where Rampage is definitely going to have to, he's going to have his work cut out for him and trying to stand up if he takes him down, and which is going to be difficult because he's a wrestler. You know, most wrestlers, if they get you on the ground and you're on your back, chances of you getting up are very slim and none. But I'm going to go ahead and say Rampage, and you're saying Hamill.
That's my pick.
Okay, Randy's pick, Hamill.